Hey legacy builders, welcome back to Find Your Money. In this video, I'm going to be closing out the third budget by paycheck for December. I wanted to do this live with you, but unfortunately I had to do a voiceover. So this is where we are. The focus for this paycheck is Deuteronomy 8:18. For you shall remember the Lord your God, for it is he who is giving you power to make wealth. So if you'd like to read that over, hopefully that encourages and inspires you. I'm going to be closing out my budget using my simple budget workbook, which is available on Amazon in paperback and also in hardcover. I'm using the hardcover hopefully just for the remainder of this year, and then I'll be doing my budget digitally with you on camera and probably just using my inserts in 2024, but we'll see. So starting with my expense tracker, I need to update how much money is actually available in our operating account before I close out the budget. So on the 12th, we had a balance of $1,215, but we did have another small deposit for income. Yay for that. Praise God for that. And then we also had a couple of withdrawals. One was for Robinhood. So I decided that I am going to send a portion of my 5% for investing to Robinhood, and I wanted to do it early since we are sort of close to Christmas. We're 10 days away from Christmas by the time you see this video, I believe, 9 or 10 days. And so I tried to get all of my transfers out so I can make my investments as quickly as possible. So the first deposit was $135, and when I add that to the $1,215, it gave me $1,350. I put it in my calculator again just to make sure I did that right, because I don't want to make any mistakes. This expense tracker is almost full already. After this video comes out, you guys will see my digital budget closeout, so I hope you stay tuned for that if you like that sort of spreadsheet closing out of a budget. The next transaction that posted on the 14th of December was the transfer to Robinhood. So I sent $12 there to invest. I'm focusing on building up our positions in XOM. If you haven't seen my Invest With Me series or my 2 recent videos I did showing you what we have in our Robinhood portfolio and M1 Finance portfolio, I'll link them up above and down below so you can check it out if you'd like to. The next place I have transferred money is to my Fidelity IRA. Of course, I'm continuing to invest there because we're building up our positions in O. I'm doing a challenge called the 100 Shares Challenge, and that's how many shares I'm hoping to get by the end of Q1 2024. So I sent $25 there, and when I transferred that, or when that money was taken out, it left us with a balance of $1,313. So now that I know how much we're starting with, I can just go ahead and close out the budget. Now, we planned for initially an income of $700, and we were able to use a little bit extra this week. So our actual income is $750. And because this will be a zero-based budget, every single one of these dollars will get an assignment. The expenses are also going to equal $700. Now, I usually break down my paycheck starting with the tithe. We just put 10% over there because we do believe in giving. So that's still going to happen. But that means instead of $70, we're going to be given $75 for this paycheck. And that's the only line item in the giving bucket this week. What I did was I did send $37 in total, which is 5% of the $750, right over to the investment platforms. I'll have to come back a little later in the video and correct that because the $37 was split between Fidelity and Robinhood. Now, I have $200 in cash that I pulled from the bank to do the savings challenges. So $190 is going to be saved in our 10K 100 envelope challenge, and the remaining $10 is going to go to a couple of mini savings challenges that I'm going to cash stuff on my Tasha's Money and Stuff channel if you'd like to check me out over there. Now, for bills and expenses, we planned for $360, but I needed to pay the bills as they hit the credit card. So our internet was $84.99. Our life insurance number 1 is $32.50, and for next month's rent, we're putting aside $300. So that's the $417.49. And then moving to the savings bucket, you see I added next month's bills. We're going to send $5 to the emergency fund and $25 to next month's bills, since our new short-term goal is to reach $500 in that account by the end of this month. And so I usually split the 5% savings between the long-term savings and the short-term savings. So annual bills is going to get $7 of that $37. And that means for funds, we're sending $7, and for long-term savings, we're sending $30. I don't have anything other to account for, so that's $0. And then we have to see if we have a zero-based budget or not. So I did a pre-plan, and it shows that I was over budget, and I was having a little trouble with my calculations. But I'm going to go ahead and double check the numbers, but we are definitely over budget. And the reason why I'm not upset about it is because thankfully we do have that cushion now that helps us, if we do go over a little bit in any area. And again, the reason why most of my budgets, even the monthly budget, is planned to be over budget overall, is because we're putting so much money towards the 10K challenge to get a head start ahead of 2024. So we are $16.49 over budget. The income that we used was $750, and the expenses came out to be $766.49. So if you look up the upper left corner of the screen, I've already made all of my money moves, and I used my phone this time, so hopefully as I update my budget by paycheck worksheet, and then as I update my expense tracker, you can see that all of the money moves were made. We did our giving of $75, and then I set up my next transfer that is going to, I believe it was, next month's bills. And next month's bills got $25. And then we did already send over the $25 and the $12 to the investment brokerages. So that was done. $7 is going to annual bills. I already pulled out the cash money, so of course there's no way you can really see that. And now I'm correcting my mistake, so I can stay ahead of the game, I guess. I want to see that everything I said I was going to do, we actually did it. And so every time I make a transfer, I write in the memo, so when I go back and look at my statement online, it matches up with my written statement in my own budget workbook and say, okay, yes, I know why I sent this money here and I know what it was for. It just helps me keep a better record of things. And I like to stay organized. Now for the bills, Spectrum did hit our credit card on the date I recorded this video, but it was still pending. Nonetheless, I still decided to make this payment because we're trying to make as many payments as we can to get our credit card balance down. Since you guys, if you've been here before, you already know. But those of you who have not been here before, we have been using the credit card for a lot of the purchases we needed to make in preparation for the new baby. So we're paying the balances down, or we're paying those charges back bit by bit. So I just went ahead and made a payment for $84.99, just as well as I sent over to one of our other accounts by Zelle the $32.50 for the life insurance policy. So that's what you're going to see me do here. I have to Zelle the money for the emergency fund to myself because it's with a different financial institution. And then I also had to send money to another institution for the life insurance policy. And then after I did all of my money moves, I reconciled, I checked on my percentages for giving, saving, and investing. I'm going to go ahead and just update the expense tracker. So a total of $529.49 is what we actually moved from one account to the next. So that helped. And now I can see what my final balance is going to be after everything that I moved and my payments have hit. So we're going to end with $783.51. But then we also need to account for the $84.99 that we paid. And on top of that, the numbers add up. The numbers match up. If you saw that part, you see that we had $800 the last time I closed out my budget for paycheck number 2. And right now it's showing $783.51. When you subtract the 2, you get the $16.49, which is the difference of what we were short for the budget by paycheck. So I decided to send $3.51 to the Zero Out Challenge, so that way we can end with an even $780 in this account. Thank God for that cushion once again. It really saved the day. And then I'm going to just update my monthly budget so I can keep track of what bills were already paid or repaid to the credit card. So the first life insurance policy was sent at $32.50 and the internet was paid at $84.99. And so this is going to help me stay organized once again, so I know what's happening. I'm tracking my paycheck budgets, I'm tracking my monthly budget, so I know where the money is going, and I'm not surprised at the end of the month with our balances. So I'm doing a quick calculation to see after the credit card payment post, we'll have a $780 balance. And I'm checking on my goals. This is we've already completed week 3 of the 100 envelope challenge. So I'm on task, or, on pace for hitting that goal. We did purchase the cash binder for the baby girl. And I just reminded myself that renter's insurance is due. And I'm writing here in this little tracker on my notes/goals page that we did send $25 to next month's bills on the 5th for the 15th paycheck. That way I can see that we're still doing what we planned to do at the beginning of December. I think doing a mid-month check-in, doing a weekly budget check-in is really helpful to see if you're on pace or not with the goals that you've set, and if you're paying the bills that need to be paid. So let me know down below if you also budget by paycheck and how your monthly budget is going so far. I can't wait to reply and talk to you guys in the comments. I was going to update my credit card expense tracker, but I wasn't able to because, again, the Spectrum had not yet posted, so I didn't update that yet, but you'll probably see that if you stay tuned to my expense tracking for week 3 of December in the next week. So now that all of my money moves have been made, all the things that we needed to do have been done, I'm just going to put check marks and little smiley faces for cash expenses where everything was moved as needed. And then our percentages for giving, it was $75, so that's 10% of the income that we used. And then for savings, it's probably a little bit under 5% because we had saved $7 in annual bills, $30 in long-term savings. And when you divide that into the $750, you get 4.9%. And I sent the same amount towards investments in the 3rd week. So the percentage is exactly the same, 4.9%. So we were just under our goal of 5%, but now that this is done, I can go ahead and update my 2023 financial goals spreadsheet to see how we're doing for the month. The video before this was my mid-month check-in, and the video after this will be my digital budget closeout. So if you enjoyed this video, please make sure you like, subscribe, and comment. And I can't wait to talk to you in the next one. Remember to mind your money, you guys, manage it well, and live your lives abundantly. Bye for now.